You might have heard about Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, Sojourner Truth, William Lloyd Garrison, John Brown, and David Walker. Names that echo through the history of abolition in America. What if I told you that Africa too had her own men and women who rose not with books or speeches alone, but with courage, wealth, and wisdom to fight against slavery on their own soil? One of them was Ezike Ihemegwe, the first and last warrant chief of Ezike. His life was a story of wealth turned into sacrifice, of chains broken in the forest, of courage that defied both slavers and the British Empire. This is a true story. Ezike Ihemegwe was born in 1855 in the Igbo town of Ezike, in present-day Anambra State, Nigeria. The transatlantic slave trade had been outlawed, but in the hinterlands, the horror continued. Traffickers still kidnapped villagers, selling them into hidden routes and slave camps. Ezike grew into a strong young man, a successful trader in palm oil, yams, and imported cloth. But unlike many who chased riches, Ezike lived by one principle: wealth means nothing if your people live in chains. Ezike Ihemegwe turned belief into action. When slave raiders struck, he struck back. He gathered warriors, stormed camps, and freed captives with his own hands. In one legendary act, Ezike set a slave camp ablaze, flames devouring the wooden huts, chains melting in the fire, the captives walking free. To his enemies, he was a nightmare. To his people, he was their shield, their liberator, their lion. But soon Ezike faced an even greater enemy, the British colonial government. They made him a warrant chief, a system designed to control Igbo communities. But Ezike was no puppet. When the people of Ezike erred by attacking a white man known as Mr. Green and swarming him with fire ants, Ezike stepped in to calm the situation and defuse the blazing tension that could have led to a disastrous outcome for the entire community. He paid the stipulated fine, thereby sparing Ezike from collective capital punishment and restoring peace through diplomacy. He has proven that diplomacy can be a major strategy in the resolution of conflict. And the British authorities respected him for this. To the people of Ezike, Ezike Ihemegwe was more than a chief. He judged disputes with fairness. He shared his wealth generously. He walked among his people not as a ruler, but as a father. While other warrant chiefs became corrupt extensions of colonial rule, Ezike remained a wall of resistance, a man who used power to protect, not to oppress. In 1923, Ezike Ihemegwe's time came to an end. The man who had fought slave raiders and defied colonial rule breathed his last at the age of 68. But even in death, his greatness could not be ignored. The British colonial administration, who once saw him as a thorn in their side, gave him a burial with honor. For decades, his story lived only in whispers, passed down in family tales and songs. But in 2025, his descendants broke the silence. They published a powerful book, Ezike Ihemegwe the Great, the first and last warrant chief of Ezike, 1855 to 1923. For the first time, the world could see Ezike not just as a local chief, but as one of Africa's forgotten abolitionists. Ezike Ihemegwe the Great was not just a chief. He was a warrior, a liberator, a fire that refused to be put out. And now, his story is finally told. Get the book through the link in the description or pinned comment, and uncover the full story of Ezike Ihemegwe the Great. If you believe Africa's forgotten heroes deserve to be remembered, smash that like button, share this story, and subscribe for more untold history.